What's up, guys? Today I am joined by a short game guru, Matt Fisher, Mr. Short Game himself.
Your short game will never, ever, ever be the same after you do this drill.
Matt, I'm super excited for today's video because you have this chipping technique that's super simple, yet really effective, and I think a lot of amateurs can learn to apply it to their chipping to just hit solid chip shots. So I want to pick your brain about it, kind of give me the 101 course on what your chipping method is.
Got it. Well, at first, I like to start like this. Like, everybody swing a certain way, right, all day, but then you get to chipping and then you change everything.
Yeah.
So for like the average player, I like to keep it very similar to your whole swing.
Okay.
So your whole setup. So, I like to set up very much in the center.
Okay.
Most of your shots are pretty much here, drive,
Yeah.
But, and then you're chipping, you do all this weird stuff. We don't want to do that.
Yeah,
right?
they
So
do. I see a lot of like, all of a sudden the ball's way
Yeah.
back and all sorts of weird stuff.
This is no different than any other shot. The only difference is our feet are going to get a lot more narrow.
Okay.
Right? And then we're just going to be a lot softer. So I like to kick my elbows in, loosen my grip, my hands.
You're ultimately taking this part of your elbows, you're taking your elbows and kind of pointing them more at your rib cage.
Yeah, a little bit.
Setup, okay.
Just so everything's in here, kind of tucked into my core.
Okay, I love it.
Then I could just turn my body, right? And if I have too wide of a stance, I can't turn my body.
You can't turn, you're gonna move around, sway too much, okay.
So that's the basics in terms of setup. I like to keep everything in the middle, and if I want to go low or high, then I just adjust ball position slightly.
Okay, are you standing closer to the ball than a normal shot?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Is the heel off the ground?
It depends. If you're a digger of the heel, then you're gonna want to get the hands higher.
Handle a little higher, just to use a little bit more bounce.
Right.
Okay.
I like to set my hands low, so I had some grind taken off the back of my club too, so that I don't dig. Because I prefer my hands lower.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel comfortable to me. But if you dig it too much, you have no choice. You gotta put your hands up.
Okay, so why don't you hit a few? Let's see the technique.
Just soft grip.
So the ball position seems pretty middle.
Pretty middle. And then I'm just
in.
trying to figure out, do I want to go high or low here?
Yeah.
Right? And so this could be kind of medium height.
It's saucy. So something I see a lot of amateurs do is they tend to hit the chip shot with their arms.
Yeah.
Too much. So this helps. Are you feeling kind of a pivot, like a soft turn?
Yeah, definitely you need to turn your hips. You gotta rotate.
Okay.
If you have no rotation, that's where all the chunking and the flipping and the blading is gonna come into play.
So you're feeling more turn, less in the hands. Okay.
And that's hard for like average players to get used to this motion with such a little shot. Something I used to practice a lot was just like pretending I'm hitting the ball with my knees.
Oh, that's good.
Like I'm doing that.
Yeah.
And that really helped me kind of get through the shot a lot more.
That is so nippy.
Let's focus on what really matters. I'm Erica Larkin, Golf Digest Top 50 coach, and after teaching thousands of golfers, I've discovered most players are focused on the wrong target. Most golfers don't realize this, but every player has about 5 swing flaws. The key to improving isn't trying to fix them all, it's knowing which one to work on first. Because when you fix the right one, it creates this amazing domino effect that clears up multiple other flaws automatically. At Performance Golf, we use this cool process called the immersion method to find and fix your root swing flaw. This is a 48-hour in-person experience. You'll work directly with me or one of the other world-class coaches to fix the one thing that's been holding your game back. We'll keep our groups small at beautiful locations across the country, and the progress I see is incredible. Dennis, for example, dropped 8 shots after fixing his root flaw. How great is that?
Since the school, my golf game has improved by 8 to 9 shots. I'm starting to love the game of golf a little more. I'm not getting near as frustrated. Before the school, I was handicapped 26.6, slicing real bad to the right. Couldn't hit my irons flush.
If this sounds like the breakthrough you've been waiting for, click below and see if there's a spot open. This could be the one thing that takes your game to that next level.
Okay, let me hit one. Let me hit one. You kind of coach me through it. So set up kind of like this.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay. Ball position pretty middle, nothing crazy.
Yeah, hands middle, everything center.
And so I'm just thinking turn. Oh, I like that with the little knee turn. Nothing with my hands, nothing with my arms. It just simplifies things.
The more you turn your knees and your hips, the easier that becomes.
Okay, so what would you tell someone who struggles with hitting shots fat? They tend to hit a little too far behind it. Would you move the ball position back? What would you do?
That's where a lot of people start backing it up, and that's where you get this look a lot.
Okay.
Right? I would actually do the opposite. I would move the ball forward, and actually you can hit behind the ball a little bit, and it'll be okay. But if you hit it behind the ball with your hands way forward, it's a chunk.
It goes to there.
Right. But if you move the ball forward, you're actually going to use the bounce of the club, and that's what it's there for. You can hit that and scrape that along the earth all day long. Even if you hit a little behind the ball, it'll still pop up.
I want to hit some ball position up.
Here.
Let's chunk a few and see what happens with the ball position up versus too far behind.
So now you already know the basics, hand center.
Hand center here, kind of connected, turn,
Rotate.
turn. So rather than I'm a chunker, don't want to do that because then.
That's a.
So should I almost go like a little bit up in the stance?
Exactly.
And just trust that.
And let that bounce hit the ground.
Okay, I'm gonna try to hit a little bit behind it, see what happens.
Yeah, that was great. I think you made it.
I think I hit like 2 inches behind that.
The ball was here, and you could see your divot starts back here.
Isn't that funny?
It's not even a divot, you're just brushing the grass. I mean, that's 3 inches behind the ball.
So really you want to do the opposite of what your body tells you to do. Like if I chunk one, I naturally want to go, let's go ball back on the next one. And then it gets even sketchier. So you move the ball position a little bit up. Okay, what about the opposite? What about someone who tends to thin it?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing. Again, they're thinning it because, you know, they're coming up like this.
The ball position's okay.
You know, and that's going to be mostly probably your weight. They're leaning on their back foot and they're trying to lift the ball in the air. That's really the thin.
Yeah.
So even though you're putting it forward, your weight's got to be forward on your front foot.
Weight's forward, okay.
Right? Like you could, and just even practice just hitting off your toe here.
And are you you're trying to keep the weight forward the whole time?
100%.
So the weight stays, if it's, say it's 80% front foot, it stays 80%, never goes 80, 60.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of people, they're trying to look, they're trying to help the ball get high. But you know, you don't need to hit the ball high even on this little shot.
No.
You know, you can still put it back and just, you know, come down on it and hit it low and still have a decent result.
Yeah. Okay, so we've covered thin, we've covered fat. What about if you want to go a little bit higher? Just a little bit higher. Say we're trying to carry it almost to the hole. Not a flop shot, but a little higher. So what do you, walk me through that.
Okay, so we're gonna do what you just did. Set up forward, okay? This time I'm just gonna open the face a bit.
And same exact setup, everything's the same, just
everything's the same. Wherever the face is pointed, right, you kind of want to take it back on that line.
Okay.
So if I shut it, you know, you're gonna take it inside.
A little drier path.
As you open it, you're gonna push it out a little bit more.
Just a little more cutty, okay.
But you're still rotating and getting that ball, or getting your hips and body rotating through the shot. And then you don't need to have hands forward here. Middle again.
Still neutral. Oh, that is so good. Do it.
And then, but you always got to stay relaxed. Once you tighten up, forget it.
So how do you relax? What if you're nervous? You got a nervous shot, you got to hit a good one, you're just tight. How do you relax?
It's hard. You gotta put the practice in a little bit, just so you know, like, hey, I practiced this week, so I'm good. I always like to, you'll see me, like, I do a little bounce here, and I'm just shaking it out, like right in here, and then I go. So I have a little like trigger or
movement. It's all about having movement. You don't, if you stand still in the jungle, you get eaten.
Right,
you can't freeze.
And it's hard to go from, to moving.
Yeah.
It's just, you get too jerky and tense. So just
okay.
have a little motion to it, wiggle around and then do it.
So it seems really simple. You're not changing much on each shot. It's all about the setup, kind of getting those arms connected to your body.
Exactly.
And then if you want to go higher, you just slightly open the face. And then if you want to go lower, you just use less loft, right?
I mean, I've been using a 60 the whole time. Some go real low and that one went pretty high. And that's all going to be with kind of your descent angle here.
Yeah.
Don't take it back too low and inside. Just let it come up. Don't be afraid of that.
Yeah, that seems to be the biggest flaw I see in amateurs is they just change too many things. They want to go high, so then they're like all of a sudden setting up all funky. So same technique, every single shot, change the loft, you're good.
Yeah, little changes make a big difference.
Little changes make a big difference. Thank you so much. That was some good stuff.
Anytime.
The super simple chipping method. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And go to Matt's page. He's got a lot of short game gold there.
Thanks.